sad news. Tom just had on his phone, Whitney Houston passed away.
What?
Really?
Oh, get that on film, really?
Yeah, just now, we just.
Oh my God.
48 years old, don't know.
48.
48 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Is that good? You need more?
I think that's all good.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
My phone, I'm like, why is my phone buzzing? And I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
All right. If you need anything, let me know.
Well, there's a lot of things I
But can you supply?
At this exact
But I
moment in
won't.
time.
I won't
Are you
go
good?
there. I think I'm good. Don't ever feed me tequila.
It's just one little shot.
Little shot.
So I've written a book called Zen and the Art of the Midlife Crisis, and it's the men's version of Eat, Pray, Love. Except there's no romance, and there's no good food, and there's no sex, and there's no exotic travel, and there's no $100,000 budget. It's just this guy who decides that can't run a construction company anymore, needs to shut that down. That the reason it wasn't really working was because it's not what I really wanted to do. I wanted to write. And so it's all about embracing your passions and really doing what you want to do. So out of that, I formed a rock band and have written a book, and I got a couple more books coming out, and it's really fun. So this is a section essays from my blog that have been elaborated on. And this one's about Jeannie. You know. So it's called Angels We Have Heard. A friend listened to me recently about my new living circumstances. How hard it is to sit with the quiet at night, my children enjoying a movie and popcorn in their home I had built for all of us across town. The sound of the stillness creeps in like a truck in the distance until it roars with thoughts of regret and uncertainty. The urge is overwhelming to find distraction, go out into the world to sing and dance at the first party I can find. Only I am not the partying kind. Heartfelt compassion poured out of her in response. Words of advice, comfort, and wisdom that ignited a place of knowledge just beneath the surface of my own heart. An inner voice has been whispering to me without articulation each night as I have stood still with my feelings of loneliness and discomfort on the verge of depression. And then she laughed. I don't know where this comes from, she said, but someone who was really close to you wants you to know. Several years ago, this woman suffered the impossible loss of her only child. In addition to bearing her grief, she has become a beacon to others about how to move forward with pain. In no extraordinary or Twilight Zone way, she simply knows her daughter's spirit is present, vital, and very much alive. And talking to her, it is very easy to believe it too. Be patient, she said. Trust that this is a time to quietly know yourself. Feel your pain and discomfort. Be tender and caring to yourself. The lessons will have to be learned and distractions only put them off. Listen to your own voice. Learn and love who you really are. Move through this time with clarity. Sit with patience like a warrior. The light shifted. So you know this is not me talking, right? She said with a delightful grin. Is there anybody you know who could be wanting you to hear this? Already I had been thinking of my Uncle Bill, a mischievous man absolutely full of joy in life, who died several years before at the age of 74 on his motorcycle, returning from his beloved softball games. Often we are compared by many who have known us both, and confused by my mother in her dreamlike state especially, but even in early years, our personalities so well matched, each of us with hearts of gold, arms embracing, willing to give all we have, each of us humbled by some inherent flaw to underachieve. At the age of 16, Bill's mother, my grandmother, died of cancer, a shock that closed up their house and gave my grandfather permission to move to Austria for his work on the Marshall Plan. From a suite in a luxurious hotel in Vienna, Bill was able to adventure across the countryside, passing through deadly Russian roadblocks in the wrong directions on the credit of his charm, good luck, and diplomatic license plates. Of the age and jazzed mobility and with the strong good looks of the Kerouac I later so admired, my Uncle Bill dropped in and out of our early lives, wriggling my own sense of adventure with a magical ring on his finger and tales of jumping from airplanes. Curiously, Santa took us out of bed on Christmas Eve wearing that very same ring and sent us back again to dream, and I was never the wiser. Finally settled with a family in Minnesota as a Midwestern traveling salesman, he drove the big finned Cadillac and lived on a farm with horses. He dangled a daring rope from a swing from the highest tree. In a land notoriously flat, he raised a toboggan run. He made me honorary captain of his little sailing dinghy on the edge of the Grand Lake. Only when I visited as an adult and saw the shower rotted and nearly unusable in the midst of the luster did I get a sense of how hard Bill's struggle to find his own dreams might have been. In my own saddened state long after his death, I could finally understand how others might see us as so similar and not in a good way. Bill's route when depression took hold was to find his cave in Florida, far from family. Unreachable, he checked in occasionally with my mother by payphone. It took a long time for his daughters to find him again emotionally. Earning a small living as an umpire, he had his room, his motorcycle, and as we discovered upon his death, he had accumulated a wealth of friends who loved him as family. The spirits of several other men came to mind at certain times. On the edge of a steep and challenging ski slope, too tired, I fear, to make it safely down, I draw upon the lessons of my old friend Milt, who patiently taught a petrified 12-year-old that you could ski hard and fast at any age. Only 8 when he died. When I play golf today, I feel my grandfather still beside me on every swing, because that is what we did together. That and a roadside burger and milkshake are the best signs that all is well in my world. Death takes people away from us in one way and gives them back in another. You do not have to see the spirit on this woman's shoulder to know her daughter is right there. She is just so brilliant, confident, and peaceful that the questions evaporate. Then suddenly, after writing all this, I realized her daughter and my uncle died within days of each other. From their places on each of our shoulders, where they could easily whisper affirmations in our ears, I think they must be having a great old laugh. Pooty wheat, yodelay-hee-oo. Life goes on.
So the whole time he's reading, I'm getting buzzed. Does anyone else get buzzed? That's great. Thank you for the buzz.
Well, thank you. I would like to say something.
He's been healed.
He speaks, the man speaks.
We would love it.
No, but I'm basically a very private man. I've been, at least I believed with all my being that I was an introvert. But you know, my journey has ended me. Well, not ended me. Has brought me here, which is really rather amazing. I'm not like you. Believe me, I get the joke. I heard somebody use the word tribe tonight.
Tribe, that was nice. That would be
All right. Well, I have a tribe too. I'm an alcoholic. My name's Roth. I have a tribe. And I've learned my life goes much, much better if I don't run it. And if there is ever anything that bothers me, better talk to somebody about it. Not to get an answer, but to the process of getting to an answer. And I believe me, I understand this. I feel very fortunate. But I've been in a place the last couple of months where that is the only place that I am comfortable. That is the only place that I'm comfortable. And so really, I just wanted to thank everybody for the platform here and for, you know,
So I'm going to put my sister Sarah a little bit on the spotlight here for a second, because we were at a spirit meeting with a whole bunch of people, and my sister Sarah was coming into her healing 3 or 4 years ago. Do you mind if I share this little story? I'm not going to go personal, but just the fact that this happened to him, to you, and we just witnessed it with Rob too. And it's being vulnerable. You know, that's really where your healing starts. So it's exposing yourself and saying, you know, hey, I lost my daughter and I'm not okay today, you know, and just exposing yourself. I mean, my lesson was being in the middle of a desk with no cubes and just, you know, and I'm a happy person, right? So all of a sudden tears were coming, and there was a reason the bathroom was so far away, okay, for me, and like being vulnerable. So anyway, Sarah was in this room, and there's a bunch of us in the room that were there that night. And she had this experience where someone came out and they exposed her. And I don't think it was necessarily her choice. And I think our tribe got a little upset when we left. We're like, oh my God, did you see what happened? You know, and this person really put her in a place of being vulnerable and exposing her. And you remember the people who were in the room, I had everybody grab hands and I'm like, oh, close your eyes as my sister exposes herself and just send her love and light, because I was horrified that this is what was happening, and I invited her to this group, right? So fast forward, Sarah, 2 years later, someone else was coming in a little vulnerable, and that really started your healing. And there was another woman that was coming in and she was exposed and the whole bit, and I heard my sister, she didn't know this, but I heard her say to this woman, she went, listen, this tribe, she didn't call it a tribe, but this group of women that you are being exposed to really can help you. So I know it feels uncomfortable right now, but I, like you, was in the same situation. And just be open to it, because you can heal. And I just remembered that day, and I remembered that exposure, and I'm just witnessing Rob get up, who I'm new, getting to know you. The one thing I love about you is that my sister loves you. So I don't care what demons you think you have, if my sister loves you, you're in. So that's all I want. So I appreciate you stepping up and being vulnerable. So, and let's all send them love and light. So anyway, woo, how do we end with that one, right? Thank you. Jeff, you're going to lead us off with a poem, and then we're done. And thank you all. Take a deep breath together, ready? Isn't it amazing? It's an amazing night. What happens in this room stays in this room. All the great, well, except for the videos on the videos. You didn't know when you came to the journey. Electronically signed or released.
That's right.
All right, so Jeff, come on up. Thank you.
And we are going viral, right?
Yes.
All right, so this is a poem I wrote for someone many years ago, and I'm going to rededicate it to all of you in the room tonight. And it's called Stars. It's pretty short, but very fitting that you have stars up here. So, in the shimmering lights, I see your beautiful smiles. No spoken words, just a lingering gaze. Your brightness reflecting inside of me. Thank you.
Nice. That is the end of our third quoted annual offering party. Thank you all. You can all, help me clean up would be great. Does anyone have anything to part with, or would you like to end it in a certain way? Because I think we're done. I think we're all tired.
Thank you.
How about thank you?
Thank you.
Jeannie, something's burning for me, and it just seems pertinent, and that is that with Whitney Houston's death tonight, thank you so much for that song, but her message is exactly what we're doing tonight. I mean, obviously, maybe that's the whole point, but it just seems really poignant for this particular offering, that the greatest gift is inside. So,
I love it. Thank you.
yeah.
Hey, everybody, head out of here.
Thank you.